Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. If you have never been here before, my name is Carrie. I live in New York City and I make videos about style, home decor, and life in New York. But I am actually currently in Japan. I am not really vlogging here, but we are doing something fun tonight. So that is the only thing I wanted to vlog. We are actually staying in a pod or capsule hotel. I believe it's a pod hotel if you live in America, and here they call it a capsule hotel. Did you know that, Dana?
I didn't.
And if you don't know what that is, it is basically a Japanese version of a hostel. You stay in a little tiny room, and I don't even know how to explain it. I'll insert some photos here. But the one we're staying in is a little bit different. You get a little bit of a bigger bed and your own kind of space. I watched a bunch of these videos to see what the experience was gonna look like before we came here, and so I just thought I would share mine too. We are currently in our initial hotel. We are gonna go stay in our pod hotel, then go to Kyoto, and then come back to this hotel. So I'm gonna take you there right now. We're about to check out, and you'll get to see the whole thing. All right, let's go. Okay, pause. Before we get into it, here's everything you need to know about the hotel. It's called the Millennials, and there are two locations, one in Shibuya, which is where we stayed, and one in Kyoto. We were only there for one night. We checked in on December 30th and checked out on the 31st. As you might expect, the price does fluctuate based on when you stay, but we paid $113 or 12,300 yen. Check-in time is at 3 p.m. and check-out time is at 10 a.m., though they will hold your bags before and after you check in and out. Also, I am not a travel channel, so if I'm forgetting anything, sorry in advance. Alright, where were we? This is what you see when you're first walking up to the hotel. Just to note, we're about a 5-minute walk from Shibuya Crossing, though there's a train station exit that was much closer, probably a few blocks away, which is where we came from. The entrance is on a pretty normal street. It's right by Tower Records and across from some stores, so the area is super populated. You walk through this hallway and through a set of sliding glass doors and take the elevator to the 4th floor, which is where reception is. We just checked in, kind of. We left our bags with the front desk because the check-in time isn't until 3 o'clock and it's currently 1. So I think we're going to, I also changed, if you can't tell, I think we're going to go to Harajuku for a bit and walk around there, and then come back around 3 or maybe a little later and take advantage of the happy hour. So I will check in with you guys when we are here and obviously give you the tour of the whole space. And that's exactly what we did. Harajuku was only about a 15-minute walk away, which was honestly faster than taking the subway, and we spent probably a good 3 or 4 hours there. When we came back to officially check in, I thought I was filming, but of course I accidentally covered the camera. They had us watch an intro video on an iPad that explained how everything worked, and then set us loose to head to our rooms, beds, pods. Hi guys, okay, so we just come to our floor and we're about to go see our rooms. Let's go. It's like A1 and 2. Oh, they're right here. Oh, this is so cute. Oh my god. So like you just saw, these are our little pod bed capsule things. I still don't really know what to call them. You might notice that our rooms have art in them, and to break that down, there are rooms available with and without art. It was about $10 more to get an art room, which we opted for because might as well get the full experience, right? We also figured out that the artists' names are what's at the top of each pod, so just a little fun fact. There are also co-ed and female-only floors. We were on a co-ed floor, and this is what it looked like. I'd say there were maybe 20 pods on the floor in total. And now for a rundown of the pods. It's basically the size of a full-size bed with a few extra inches at the end. You get one shelf that's the width of the entire thing, a rod with hangers, a long, I don't really want to say full-length mirror, and a very large roll-out shelf under the bed, perfect for a suitcase and some other stuff. There's also a small safe, probably 3 inches wide by 10 or 12 high, and an iPod Touch that you get at check-in, which controls everything in the pod. The lights, the height of the bed, the wake-up feature, which I'll show you, all of that. There's also outlets and USB ports built into the wall, plus a charging cord which works on the iPod and iPhones. You also have a shade for privacy that rolls down and up, but the pod does not lock. I found Japan and Tokyo to be very safe, and I did not get weird vibes from anyone, so it didn't really bother me, but it's definitely something to think about. At check-in, you also get an amenity bag, and in it, you'll find a small pouch that'll open up in a second, 2 towels, a body towel and a hand towel, a pair of slippers, and then this pouch, which you get to keep. Inside it is a little cotton set, I think swabs and like rounds or cotton pads, a toothbrush, and a mini pack of tissues. Also, because we booked online, they gave us a free gift, which I think we had the option to choose from a free set of hotel pajamas to rent, a free bottle of water, or free soda. There may have been more, but I can't remember. As far as other amenities go, our floor had recycling and trash cans, a shower and sink room, and a room with toilets and laundry. There were 4 total shower stalls, which each have a shower and a changing section with hooks. And then each of the sinks had hair dryers underneath, which is really nice if you forget one or don't want to bring one. Then in the bathroom, there was a sink and 3 toilets, which greet you when you open the door. If you know anything about Japanese toilets, you might also know that they have a ton of fancy settings on them. There's a bidet, seat warmers, all of that. So these also had that. Now that all of that is out of the way, we got settled, unpacked a bit, and then headed downstairs for happy hour, aka free beer, which runs from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We, of course, got some, and then explored the 3rd floor of the hotel, which is basically a work area. It kind of reminded me of a WeWork or any just type of co-working space. We hung out for a second, but people were working there, so we took the stairs back up to 4 and hung out up there instead and drank our beers. Then we tested out this fancy coffee machine. Again, this is basically a hostel and everything is communal, so we washed our own dishes and then headed back to our pods to hang out there for a bit. Lots of hanging out at this time of the day. I just basically laid down and scrolled through my phone for a while, enjoyed some nice quiet rest time. I also tested out the bed and light settings, which the iPod also controls, and then we headed out for the night to Golden Guy in Shinjuku, which is an area where there are a ton of little tiny bars. I had some of the best drinks I've ever had there. Then we got late night Japanese McDonald's and then came back and took showers and got ready for bed.
Alright, hi guys. I have to whisper because it is really early in the morning, but we went out to have a few drinks in an area called Golden Guy, which is by Shinjuku, and we got back recently. We had some Japanese McDonald's and then came back and took showers, so now I am all ready for bed. We'll probably have to add subtitles to this part because it's supposed to be very quiet here, but because I'm currently waiting for my hair to dry out, I'm just going to probably do a little journaling and also just be on my phone for a bit. I'll probably turn the lights down here and then I will head to bed, hopefully in the next 30 or so minutes. So I will check in with you guys in the morning.
The next morning, I got up, partially with the help of the bed. Basically, you set it to automatically rise and turn on the lights instead of having a loud alarm, since this is a communal space that you're sleeping in, technically. Checkout time was early, or at least it felt early, at 10 a.m., so we had to get up and pack our stuff pretty quickly. We barely made it, but we did, luckily. They do offer a free breakfast. I think it's just pastries and coffee in the lounge in the morning, which we ended up missing, but that's okay because we actually got souffle pancakes at Flippers, which was conveniently only 2 blocks away. We got there probably 10 minutes early and were lucky to be some of the first people after we ate those, which, by the way, they were delicious and definitely worth it, at least just for the novelty. We went back to the hotel to get our luggage and head to Kyoto, and that rounds out our approximately 24 hours at the Millennials Shibuya. Overall consensus is that I loved it, but that's me speaking as someone who isn't claustrophobic. The lack of space didn't bother me, and I really would have been down to stay another night. Everyone was super quiet and respectful and polite, definitely a young crowd. I didn't mind the co-ed floor whatsoever. I never felt weird, and I definitely would go back again. So great review for the Millennials Shibuya, and really fun stay in a Japanese capsule hotel. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.